I'm striving to get rich. That's why I always went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APWSPORTS signing in. And we got some unfortunate news coming out of Bear World, as running back David Montgomery has hyperextended his knee in the win against the Detroit Lions and is now sidelined for the next 5 to 6 weeks, which is unfortunate news coming at the time where the Bears' schedule is getting absolutely tough. With games against the Raiders, you got games against the Buccaneers, games against the Packers, the 49ers, the Ravens, the Steelers, all coming up in that time span. And a power running game with David Montgomery could have made an absolute huge difference between Bears wins and Bears losses. David Montgomery has had a very successful season thus far until the injury, including last week rushing for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win against the Lions. And Monty has been the identity of the Chicago Bears offense thus far. And now losing him is going to put this Bears offense in a totally different position. Whether it is Justin Fields starting at quarterback, whether it is Andy Dalton starting back at quarterback, whoever is calling plays, Bill Lazor and Matt Nagy, this Bears offense, I think, is going to take a significant dip without the services of David Montgomery. Montgomery has been one of those guys this year who has been leading the league in yards after contact, has been able to break a ton of tackles, and has been a very physical runner for this Bears offense. And let's face it, he has been the bell cow. He has been the identity of the Chicago Bears offense. Whether it's Fields or Dalton starting, the Bears offense has ran through David Montgomery. And losing him for 5 to 6 weeks, and also losing him when the schedule is starting to get absolutely tough, starting with this week against the Las Vegas Raiders, who was coming off their first loss of the year to the Chargers, this Bears offense is going to suffer. This Bears team might suffer because they don't have that true identity of a guy like David Montgomery, who is proven to be an absolute special running back in this league. Not having David Montgomery's services is going to hurt throughout the course of the next couple of weeks because the Bears don't have that ability to play the time of possession, especially the way David Montgomery is physical. He can pick up yards after contact, get key first downs from being very, very physical runner. And this Bears offensive line and this Bears offense is going to suffer because you don't have that true ability to play the time of possession game, which has worked for the Bears in their 2 victories over the Cincinnati Bengals and over the Detroit Lions last week. The loss of David Montgomery is also going to hurt, especially when guys like Tariq Cohen are still not back. You have Damian Williams, who's dealing with a quad injury of his own, and the Bears just made a trade for Jakeem Grant to get Khalil Herbert off of special teams because he's going to play a bigger role in this Bears offense, especially having Monty not being able to go. And the services of Damian Williams is up in question, and we still haven't seen the return of Tariq Cohen. The Bears are able to play the game of time of possession with the physicality and the things that David Montgomery is able to do out of the backfield, the way he is able to break tackles, and he makes this offensive line, who has struggled a bit, look better because he's able to get through that first haul. He's able to get through those tackles, the big guys, and get up into the second level of your defense. So David Montgomery being out is going to hurt the quarterback position, especially if it's Justin Fields, because the Bears can do so many things off of play action, especially when you have a successful running game with Monty, and especially if Bill Lazor is calling plays. But that's a different story for a different day. We're not going to get into the whole play calling thing in this video. But at the end of the day, the loss of David Montgomery to this Chicago Bears offense, especially when you're going into the really tough part of your schedule, especially when you still are able to fight for a playoff spot with the added 7 seed, which the Bears were able to get last year, especially with Minnesota playing some solid football. Green Bay is still the cream of the crop of your division, and you have an NFC West who is absolutely loaded. The Bears can suffer a bit with not having David Montgomery in the lineup. Now, Damian Williams, when healthy, does bring a lot to your offense, but it's not the same thing as David Montgomery. Because Damian Williams is not the same physical back that you have, in David Montgomery. Damian Williams is a great spell back for David Montgomery because both guys bring different things to your offense. So looking at this Bears offense, it is going to suffer, I believe, without the services of David Montgomery. And it's going to even push more, I believe, the offensive line to be even better because you don't have that luxury of having David Montgomery being able to break tackles where you necessarily don't have the full block. When you miss the block, you don't have that guy who can escape that level and get up into the teeth of your defense. So the loss of David Montgomery for 4 to 5 weeks is looking like 5 to 6 maybe with that hyperextended knee injury, I think can really hurt the Chicago Bears offense. Not only for this stretch of games, I believe it can be a big impact on your defense because you may not win that time of possession game and the Bears defense might be a little bit tired out because they're on the field a little bit more, especially if your quarterbacks are not being successful and you're not moving the ball like the way you have in the 2 wins. So looking at this Bears team without David Montgomery, if adjustments are not made as far as the entire offense goes, this Bears offense can really suffer. But that is all I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys leave this video a like. Comment your thoughts on the David Montgomery injury below and the impact that it can have on this Bears team going forward. Click that subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss a single video. But I'm APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe out there. Have a great and excellent day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.